We are live. Pain literally everywhere is the title of today's video. Everything's dropping. Yesterday was a bad day for stocks, for Bitcoin, for Beyond Meat, got absolutely destroyed. So, we're going to break everything down to see what the market is doing. Give me a sec. We're going to pull everything up here. Let me know what you guys are watching. Let me know what you guys have been paying attention to, where you see potentially a good trade setup. Okay. Also, we're going to give away a free 5K challenge account. So, most engaged viewer gets a free 5K 3-step challenge. So, let's pin that guy right here. So we gave this away yesterday. It was super fun. Somebody won it yesterday. Top one or top three. Don't get too greedy. Top one person. Okay. So right now the crown is at APPI. We'll see what happens. But we're gonna break down a bunch of stuff. Trying to spill my coffee here. And analysis of gold, no problem. You guys drop what you want to know, what you're looking at. We're going to break down all of the charts. We'll talk about the FTMO video yesterday. So let me share here. First things first, we can't talk about anything without first looking at TradingView. Let's see what's going on. So Bitcoin is up 1.22%. If my screen at any point goes black, I sincerely apologize. I need to get some better streaming equipment, but it will come back on. And yes, don't just spam the chat. Let's actually have a good chat here. So Bitcoin 1.15%, gold 0.8%. It looks like the market's opening in about 20 minutes. It looks like for the most part, we've had a little bit, a small risk on movement overnight. Let me share this guy. You can see, well, BTC is actually giving back some of those overnight gains. We rally back up to 110. Again, we're in this consolidation period. Whenever you see a chart, Bitcoin, stocks, FX, does not matter. Whenever you see something moving sideways, consolidation, whenever you see that, it's because the market needs more data. It needs more information. So if you're confused about what's happening in the market, there's a good chance Mr. Market is also confused. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're just in a wait and see approach. So right now, for me, if I wanted to trade Bitcoin, so much sideways movement, I just drop down time frames. I'd go to the 15-minute chart. I see we're going to maybe retest this 200-day moving average, maybe set up for a short-term buy. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. So a little bit of a rise there on Bitcoin, but giving back some of the gains. Gold is rallying back up a little bit, but if you wanted to look for a short, I think the 38 we've already kind of touched. There's definitely going to be some good levels on there. Pound CAD, and we'll wait to see what stocks do. When the market opens, let me pull up the headline news. So what is going on here? So American Airlines, yada, 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 yada. That's not that interesting. So we're going to move right over to our daily email where I will break down for you at a 5th grade reading level what is going on in the market, because it's not just fundamental analysis change my trading. You can't just rely on the charts. It's not going to, you can grab a couple of pips, but the market isn't dropping 200 pips because of a trend line. Okay, there's something going on. And so we need to understand what's happening so we can understand risk sentiment, and then we can then find the best trades and AKA make the most amount of money as possible. So what's on the menu? Stocks tank, gold cries, Beyond Meat is cooked. We spoke about Beyond Meat yesterday. Literally insane what has been going on with Beyond Meat. Tesla, record revenue, but a reality check. Meta is firing 600 AI workers. Krispy Kreme, also an interesting stock to look at. And dun, 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 does FTMO have hidden rules? I posted a video yesterday on this, and I'd be really curious to hear in the chat if you guys watched that video and what you thought of that video. This website here, by the way, is my daily email newsletter, 100% free. You guys should subscribe to that right there. So moving onwards, yesterday's numbers, S&P down, NASDAQ down. Dow Jones, down. Bitcoin, up to 108, and that's basically where we are right now. So this is the heat map. Amazon 2.2, Apple 2.5, Nvidia 2.2. It was a nasty day for stocks. We had a little bit of a late day rally. Stocks were down worse at one point than how they finished. So if you're looking for some good news, if you know you're Mr. Optimistic, that's something right there that you can focus on. So why is this happening? There was rumors, or not rumors. There was a report out from Reuters. A headline dropped saying that the White House is considering new limits on U.S. software exports to China. That obviously spooked the market. Reignite tariff chaos ahead of the November 1st deadline. I've been saying it all week. November 1st is the deadline for a trade agreement between the US and China. But again, guys, the taco trade, Trump always chickens out, not only continues to work, but the market isn't even buying the tariff reactions as much. Yesterday, yes, it did, but on or Thursday, so I think on Tuesday, it did not, and I spoke about that in the market live stream. So again, I think this is a nothing burger. The can's going to get kicked down the road. Not financial advice, but me personally, I am buying all of these dips. I'm not buying the S&P right now because it's so, it's so overextended. But if there's a stock that like I like Coinbase. I'm looking at Estee Lauder. I like Bitcoin long term. If those are dropping, I'm going to be buying. I'm going to be taking advantage of it. I bought in April, and that worked out quite well for me. So again, this is why the market dropped. It's just massive, massive deja vu. So you don't have to overthink it. Just red day, tank stocks tanked, and it's because of Trump for the most part. Gold got wrecked, absolutely destroyed. Like I said, we're up 0.83% right now on Bitcoin, or sorry, on gold at 41.30. But you could see the high we made up almost $4,400. Absolutely insane. The worst 2-day crash in 12 years, vaporizing over $2 trillion in market cap, which, just for perspective, that is 110% of Bitcoin's entire value gone. Poof, just gone, which is so crazy to think that it dropped so much that it would just have evaporated Bitcoin. Goes to show how early we are with Bitcoin. It dropped nearly 2% yesterday, bringing it dangerously close to a 10% plunge from its recent 44 all-time high. So again, not a recession, but when we drop 20% from all-time highs, you're officially in not a bear market, but the word's on the tip of my tongue. But we're already almost 10% from the all-time high, which is a pretty aggressive and pretty quick pullback. From a technical standpoint, I shared yesterday, there's not really any major support until we hit all the way down to 3,500. So we're kind of in no man's land here from a technical standpoint. So we're most likely going to, get some sort of sideways movement, some back and forth, maybe retouch the all-time highs, come down. We need to have some sort of market structure here, or things could just get absolutely, violent and drop to 3,500. But I think we're probably going to have some sideways movement here. So let's come back to this guy. So silver didn't fare much better. Scratch that. It actually got body slammed, down 12% from its record just days ago. $2.4 trillion has been wiped out of the gold market in just 48 hours. So all that to say, absolutely insane. This is profit taking, guys. Everyone's, freaking out, what's going on. It's not Armageddon. It's literally just profit taking. Gold is up like 60% this year. So, short-term volatility, but long-term opportunity. If you're like struggling, you can't have that short-term mindset. I understand, like, if you're trading and on the 15-minute chart, take advantage of these moves. But if you're thinking long-term of like, okay, let me get, my prop firm payouts and then let me invest and actually build wealth long-term, it's long-term. You can't get spooked away from all of this stuff. So let's take a look at Beyond Meat. But first, let's take a look at the chat. What are you guys taking a look at? What are you watching? Bitcoin going to rally next month? Bitcoin long term is always going to rally. Do you think some institutions are taking profit? Yeah, everyone's taking profit on gold, 100%. Watching oil. Yeah, we could take a look at Oil is down big time this year, which is good for gas prices. Who who all have come for 5K count is a very bad thing. NQ long, since the shutdown mostly ending soon. Yeah, NQ long always pays off pretty well. Gold has been stable since the crash on Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah, the government shutdown. Time to sell S&P today, right? Andrew, what are you talking about selling the S&P today? I mean, I don't do those kinds of signals. That's entering dangerous territory. Beyond Meat's meme mania cools off, guys. This one has been absolutely crazy. Again, talked about it yesterday. It was up 600%. And the only thing worse than me not owning this stock is having to listen to the vegans say, I told you so. But it kind of, it cooled off yesterday. It got a little bit ugly. It fell 65% in just 2 hours. So, oh, excuse what I said, not 600%. It soared 1,300%. Just take every single dollar you have in your bank account right now and multiply it by 13. That's how much more money you could have had in 4 days. If that's not painful, I don't know what is. Beyond Meat's meme stock moment finally hit the fryer. The stock erased a 160% intraday gain. After our live stream yesterday, it climbed another 160%. So imagine it climbed 160 in a single day, and then it gave all of it back and it dropped over 10%. But I believe it closed green yesterday. So why the pump? Over 60% short interest on the stock. So it's just like GameStop. But also, for whatever reason, Walmart announced expanded distribution. So they're going to carry more Beyond Meat. I don't know why they would do that, but nobody's buying it. So really interesting. But it's your classic short squeeze hangover. Let's see what's going on with the stock right now. It's at 358. Hold on. Clear up a couple of tabs here. I glitched out for a moment. So beyond initial investment. Okay. So let's continue on. October, guys, you're here. Many of you are here because of the Lark Funding Discord channel. The only thing I have to sell you if you're here is Lark Funding. Been running it for 3 years. We're moving away from discounts. Huge changes coming in November. So if you like the current programs, October 10 is the last 10% discount code of 2025. So if you want to save money, prices are going up. No more discounts. This is your best chance, October 10. So check it out. If you want, I could even be that generous and I could paste. I could, hold on. Let me, give me a second here. Look at that. Look at this. Boom, right there. Okay. So moving on, stocks, Tesla. Let's take a look at Tesla because, again, I want you guys to remember, if you didn't watch the previous days, I want you to remember something very, very important. It doesn't matter if you trade Tesla. It doesn't matter if you own Tesla, Nvidia, you name it, Apple, Amazon, Netflix. We spoke about Netflix yesterday. It does not matter if you own or trade any of these stocks. You're probably 99% of you watching right now are probably thinking, dude, I don't care about Tesla. Okay. I'm broke. I can't buy a Tesla. I don't care about the stock. I don't care about Netflix, right? I trade pound yen. I trade euro US, whatever it is. One of the things that made the biggest difference in my trading was getting away from that mindset of just relying on technical analysis. Now, again, let me be very, very clear. You do not have to trade Tesla, but you should still care about it. And the reason for that is there are a dozen plus stocks that are so massive that if their earnings are weak, it's going to tank the entire market. It will tank the entire index, the S&P, the NASDAQ. If earnings look weak, that's going to signal to the Federal Reserve. It's going to be one of their tools to look at to say, oh, the economy is starting to not do so well. We need to cut interest rates further. And if you're trading pound US, or if you're trading euro US, or whatever it is that you're trading, gold, pound yen, all of those, all of those currencies, all of those assets are going to move because of this. So if Tesla came out and said, we sold one car last quarter, right? The entire stock would have tanked 80%. The indexes would have been dragged down. Everyone would have said the economy is crashing, the Fed's got to cut, and all of your assets that you trade would have been impacted by it. So don't think, who cares what Tesla reported? Who cares what Amazon's doing? You have to care because it's going to move and have an impact on the assets that you trade. It's very, very important. We're doing all of this to understand what market sentiment is. Are we bullish? Are we bearish? Are we risk on? Are we risk off? It's as simple as that. So all that to say, what did Tesla release yesterday? Tesla released that their revenue was better than expected, $28.1 billion versus 26.4 that was expected. But their earnings per share was much worse than expected. It was 50 cents versus 0.54 expected. And I think I wrote it, 50 cents versus 55 expected. So their net income was 1.37 billion, which was down 40% from last year. So their gross margin was better than feared, but miles below the golden area of 25%. So they used to have 25% gross margins. They're down to 18% gross margins, which is tough. That's tough, and that's gross. That's not net. Operating income fell 40%. So their revenue looked good, but their earnings did not look so good. Okay. And the problem is many EV tax credits are expiring or already have expired. So you can see here 497,000 vehicles, a record fueled by Americans racing to buy before the EV tax credit expired September 30th. So for the most part, it's gone. So the market could also say, maybe this was just a one-off, basically like a prop firm running a 50% discount, right? Oh, let me get in now. But next month, no 50% discount, sales are going to drop. Right. So as a result, the stock tanked 3.81% in the after hours. So the market overall didn't really love the earnings and the report that came out yesterday. But again, 3.8%, it's not necessarily Armageddon, right? The market is not going to, the index is not going to completely drag down because of this. But it's interesting. Year to date, actually, if I pull up the stock, be curious to see year to date, it's only up 15.7%. I mean, which is good. Don't get me wrong, especially if you bought at the April lows, 240, 230, you've made a nice penny. Last 6 months, 75%. Yeah. See, that's pretty nice. So again, nothing wrong with a little bit of profit taking as well. Overall, I think it's pretty much a nothing burger, solid revenue, and I think they'll hopefully sort things out with the margins. So pretty interesting stuff from Tesla. Let's keep going. We've got some interesting ones here, and then we're going to talk about FTMO and their potential, the hidden rules. Dun dun dun. Facebook. We spoke yesterday about how Amazon wants to replace 600,000 employees by 2033 with robots. We're continuing that theme today with Facebook. Just axed 600 employees from its AI team, probably to make room for the billions they're spending trying to keep up with OpenAI and Google. Yeah, they're trying really hard to keep up, but axing 600 employees, that's pretty crazy. At this rate, Zuck's your efficiency might be code for you're fired, but with machine learning. Meta stock, Meta's been a very good stock. I have a couple of buddies that bought Meta. There's a share. Unbelievable. I mean, this guy just prints money. Absolutely prints money. So literally insane. Texas Instruments, they are world's top 10 chip maker. They tanked 8% yesterday. Again, I don't know. Drop in the chat, actually. I want to hear from you guys. Drop in the chat. What is it that you trade? Are you trading? Do you trade or buy stocks? Is it just Forex? Is it gold, Bitcoin? Drop in the chat. I want to know what it is that you guys trade. Like when you see a stock like this, are you gonna go check it out? Be like, oh, that's interesting that they dropped 8%, or are you just or do you guys just not care whatsoever? I'd be really curious to hear. Yeah, drop in the chat. Don't be shy. Stocks, NQ Gold and Tesla, BTC Gold. Okay, Tesla, that's interesting. Maybe you're just saying that to try and win the account today. BTC indices, mainly Forex and indices. Okay, so do you guys find this stuff interesting? Like when you see a random stock, like I didn't know what Texas Instruments was, but I saw, oh, it tanked 8%. Now, I want to pay attention to it. Or General Motors. I mean, it's a boring company, but they want to roll out eyes off driving by 2028. So are you guys interested? No, we offer stocks, by the way, at Lark Funding. We have over 100 stocks that you could trade. So if you guys want to trade stocks, you could check us out. But yeah, General Motors wants to roll out eyes off driving by 2028, basically turning your car into a moving Netflix couch. So again, trying to keep up with Tesla. Some of the tech will come via partnership with Google, which means it'll probably work great until you really need it. Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme has been absolutely insane. I spoke about it earlier in the year, maybe 3 months ago or so, total meme stock. And this is what I said this week. I said it in the Pip Munch email, and I said it in the live stream when I went over the Pip Munch email. I said, when we were talking about Beyond Meat, that what to watch next. I said, look for spillover. I swear, let me pull that up because I swear that's exactly what I said. And this is what happened with Krispy Kreme. Hold on. Let me find it. Beyond Meat. Hold on. I'm going to find it. They could be next. Look at this. Look at this. This was yesterday. We went over this. What traders should watch? Short, squeeze, spillover. Check tickers with high short interest. They could be next. And what happened? We had Krispy Kreme yesterday. So literally exactly what I said. We climbed up to, it was trading at 340 and I jumped 12% to 446. So pretty interesting there. This guy here, 12%. But they're also opening stores in Spain, Brazil, and Uzbekistan. So that was kind of random and interesting. Okay. So that's what's going on with market. Thursday motivation, a $4,100 payout from FTMO. That reminds me, FTMO. Maybe we need to talk about FTMO for a moment. Let's do that. Here, does FTMO have hidden rules? Let me know in the chat. Did you guys watch this video? Did you watch that video yesterday? Kian, how long do I hold stocks for? I'm long term, so decades. Does FTMO? My mom trades cocoa. That's hilarious. She's a farmer. What did you guys think of this video? Because some people, I think for the most part, it was pretty positive. I want to be absolutely clear. I'm not dunking on FTMO. I've always said I think competition makes everybody better. Let me actually, no, you guys can find it. I won't, hold on. I'll drop it in the chat. Competition makes everybody better. So by no means am I dunking on FTMO. I started my from FTMO. So there we go. That guy right there. Yeah, I started my journey with FTMO back in 2022. No, 2021, excuse me. I'm not dunking on them at all. The reason I made this video is because a lot of people were posting online, whether it was on Twitter, whether it was on YouTube. There's a bunch of different things where they were talking about this hidden 1% rule, which is that many traders, once they get funded, and many of them after they receive multiple payouts or just a large payout, their risk is limited to 1% per trade. Now, I say in this video, I have no problem with this whatsoever. If you're a trader that wants to flip accounts, that wants to, full margin your account, all those prop firms that let you do that went out of business last year. That's not what this industry is for. And if a prop firm does allow you to do it, they're probably going to go out of business. So I have literally no problem whatsoever with that 1% rule. The only problem is that it's not really explicitly stated. So that's like a little bit of a downside of, I went on their website and whatnot, and it's not clear of like, don't risk more than 1%. So I get it as a prop firm owner myself. It's really hard, and it's something that we're always trying to improve on, of how can we make the rules as black and white as possible, which you think would probably be an easy thing, but it's not, because you still want to give traders freedom. So black and white in the sense of, yes, like if the daily loss limit's 5%, or if the max drawdown 6%, that's very black and white. But in terms of like margin utilization, you could have one trader who goes, full margin, 99% margin utilization on an account and completely gambles it. Whereas you could have another one who uses 50%, but is risk managed, or like, it's very difficult in that sense. And sometimes you could have a trader that, risks more than 1%, but it's, 1.2%, right? So if you have that hard limit, it's very difficult to kind of make every single rule black and white. But I think it's important for firms to, try really hard to make them as black and white as possible. So, so that was the video yesterday. So I'd be curious to hear what you guys thought about that one. Let's come back to guy here. Okay, so what would happen if you guys have any questions? We're almost done this email. I'll then pull up the charts again. If you guys have any questions about prop firms, FTMO, lark funding, trading, anything, drop them in. Drop them in the chat. I'll go through these links and then we'll take a look at those questions and we'll be giving out that account. What happens if you invest $50 a day into Bitcoin? This one was really interesting. If you start with $10,000 in Bitcoin and you add $50 per day, you'll have over $23 million by 2050, which is wild. This is assuming an annual rate of return of 25%. I mean, ambitious is probably an understatement for that claim. 25% a year is a lot. However, I mean, if the S&P is generating 8% a year, you know, I feel like it's annually, it's returned much more than 25% going back to its inception. So even over the last 10 years, or yeah, 10 years or so, 5 years too. So Bitcoin right now, year to date, is up 16.76%. So I think this is a little bit ambitious over, what are we, 2025, over the next 25 years. It's pretty ambitious, but interesting. It's this power of compound interest. I think one of the biggest lessons, from the guys like Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, is time in the market is much more important than timing the market. Just get into a beautiful company, an amazing asset, and just let time do its thing, I think is quite powerful. This government official just bought these stocks. So Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene released a new stock buy. She bought Bitcoin ETF. She bought Novo Nordisk. I've heard of them. NVO. She bought Tesla. She bought UPS. And she bought Amazon. She's now filed up to $3.8 million of trades year to date, which is crazy. Her salary is probably on paper like $150K. There's no way she's making, these government officials do not make that much money on paper, but of course they always find a way. UPS stock, I was looking at not that long ago, which is not doing well. UPS is on my watch list. The dividend yield of 7.47% is insane. And year to date, the performance is nasty, almost 30% drop. It's been down just like consistently, but it was a pretty beautiful stock chart up until, 2021. It's fallen off a cliff. I don't know if this is because, Amazon's taking all of their business. I don't know. I would have to look at that, but they're probably going to cut that dividend yield. That's huge. That's massive. But I would be really, really interested. I'm going to keep this on my watch list. I'm a little bit excited about UPS actually. When I see a stock like this, I go, ooh, potential, maybe some money. This could be nice. So UPS, also Estee Lauder. I mentioned before. Estee Lauder is a makeup company. I spoke about them earlier this week. Michael Burry bought small dividend yield, but you could see it was beautiful. Look at this, right up until 2021. It was just absolutely beautiful. And the idea is the lipstick theory that people buy more, more makeup, more cosmetics when there's a recession because they can't afford to travel. They can't afford to do, fun things or fancy or expensive things. And so they buy more lipstick, which is why right up until, 2021, when everyone thought the world was ending, boom, it went up to $334. So really an interesting stock. UPS and Estee Lauder. I'm going to do some more research. If you guys are interested in these, maybe I could do a little bit of a deeper dive one of these mornings and we could take a look at it. But it's a crazy stock. I've seen a couple of people ask about silver, so I could pull up silver. Do you think Bitcoin can crash and be all-time similar to Great Depression? I mean, I don't plan and live my life as if like the Great Depression is coming. I think stocks are overvalued. I think Bitcoin always goes up more than people think, but it also crashes more than people think. So if you think, oh, it's only going to drop, 20%, it's probably going to drop 50%, right? Things like that. So I don't live as if, I'm very risk off. I'm very conservative, both with my money and my politics. But yeah, I don't plan for it. I just, like I said, time in the market is better than timing the market. And I say that as a reminder to myself because I've got cash sitting on the sidelines where I'm like, I should probably, there's opportunity out there. I look at, how much we've rebounded from April. It's like, you shouldn't have held any cash really. Hindsight's obviously 2020 though. So what else are we cooking up here? Is inflation actually rising again? let's take a look at this guy here. Is inflation actually rising again? Again, these are all things that the Federal Reserve is going to be paying attention to, and that's going to dictate monetary policy. If they cut interest rates, remember, burn into your brain. If you have one takeaway from this video, burn it into your brain. Short term, rate cuts equal stocks up, dollar down. Higher interest rates equal stocks down, dollar up. Right? Burn it into your brain. It's like the most important correlation that you can have as a trader. Inflation rose 2.6% year over year in September, the highest in 2 years, according to price stats data based on online retail sales. This marks the 5th consecutive monthly increase. So not great. Not great. This has 335,000 views. Okay. Does FTMO have hidden rules? We took a look at that. And this one's interesting. I don't know if used Polymarket or Kalshi. They just struck a deal, first ever deal with NHL for prediction markets. So Polymarket's fun. I haven't taken any trades on it, but some people have made massive amounts of money on these platforms. If we pull this up, let's see what's trending. Yeah, mayoral election, Mamdani, the communist, is going to be winning New York City, which is just wild. World Series champion. I'm Canadian, so got to go for the Blue Jays. But very interesting that they're at a 31% chance. When will the government shutdown end? 16% chance. Oh my gosh, it's going on forever. Fed decision, this one's the most important for us. Like I've said all week, 96% chance of a 25 basis point cut in October, so it's already cooked in. Already cooked in. Will the government shut down? And what else we have? Will Trump meet with Xi by October 31st? 78% chance. That's interesting. This is bullish. This is super bullish for the markets. That is super, super bullish. Only $3 million in volume. This is a sleeper event right here. This is a sleeper event for sure. That's good to know. I need to look into that a little bit deeper. Russia-Ukraine ceasefire, only a 13% chance in 2025. So that's not great. This will be market positive when eventually, God willing, we do get an end to that chaos. Anything else that's interesting? JD Vance 2028. Cool. So rate cuts equal stocks up. Yes, short term, absolutely. Let me pull up silver, and then if you guys have any additional questions, we can take a look at that. Silver is what's the symbol for silver? XAG. That's right. Pull that up. XAG USD. We'll do OANDA. Okay, so let's do this guy here. Yeah, again, from all-time highs. What are we down? We're down 9% right now. We're down as low as 12.5%. I mean, long term, I think it's going up. The momentum is still clear, but short term, obviously, from a purely technical standpoint, we came to this fib. We dropped from the 50, and now we can extend it. So this 38 is looking interesting. We've got the 38 fib. We've got the 4-hour 50 moving average, and we've got it's a little bit of a more wide zone, but you can see we had previous support here. So that's that entire zone. So if you thought trading gold was difficult, silver is like trading gold on steroids. So I would want a wider stop loss. I'm not interested in silver is very good if you know what you're doing. I prefer gold, Bitcoin. I just know them better. But yeah, from a technical, I mean, when I first started trading, I was going full margin on silver because it moved so much. So yeah, technical standpoint, we could maybe have a little bit of another leg down here. This is nice support here. I would look for the major support levels, which first one would be this guy here, that daily 50 moving average for a longer term buy, which is at $45. But we could have a lot of volatility, a lot of back and forth movement right around where we're basically at the 50 level because it's a very psychological level. So I can see a nice little retest here and a drop. But again, not financial advice. So that's what's going on with that. Let me pull up Twitter. Let's pull up Twitter and see what's going on in the world of Twitter. Imagine a prop firm without hidden rules and tough restrictions. That's what we've been doing for 3 years. Amen. What else? Futures. Do you guys trade futures at all? Everyone's like, we got to do a Lark Funding futures, but we're going to stay in our lane. We're going to keep doing what we do best. But yeah, let me know if you guys trade futures. Solution removal. Tesla. Chinese state oil majors suspend Russian oil purchases on fears over new U.S. sanctions. Oil prices are extending 2-day gains to 11%. Yikes. That's crazy. That's really, really crazy. Let me pull up here. I didn't realize that all of that bearishness we had on oil dropping to $56 was kind of reversing. Yeah. Interesting. 61. Yikes. It was low. It was real low. Good for gas prices, but yeah, a little bit of a spike up now. Interesting. I'll keep an eye on that. Another little payout there. Let's see, Lark Funding. JP Morgan releases new report stating gold prices could exceed $8,000 an ounce by 2028 as investors increasingly use it to hedge equity risk. That's insane. That would make gold a $60 trillion asset in 3 years. What are the comments on this? Do you think they're looking for customers to sell to? Yeah, literally. That's good. Remember when everyone mocked gold bulls in 2021? Yeah, that's crazy. Staggering $7.5 trillion now sitting in money market funds, a new all-time high. Crazy, a lot of money on the sidelines here. Yeah, do you guys like the fibers? The fibers is kind of like they're different. They're different. Okay, so that's everything that I wanted to cover. That is everything that I wanted to cover. Don't like futures. So if you guys have any questions, you let me know. However, there's a good chance that you guys are here for something specific. You guys are here for a prop firm challenge. You guys are here for a prop firm challenge. Who is number 1 here? Kian, you're number 3. Oh, Skiller. That's hilarious. Skiller, our community manager, is number 1 on the leaderboard. That's funny. So I think, guys, because you are here 37 minutes in, I really appreciate all of you being here. I really like doing the live streams. I believe we have a winner, which is, again, I don't know how you guys come up with these usernames. Twapple Wattens. Yeah, that's the winner. Congratulations. Congratulations. So what I need from you is I need you to email us support@larkfunding.com. Support@larkfunding.com with proof of this being your profile, right? And we'll send you out that account. Do you guys have any questions? Again, big changes coming to Lark in November. Unfortunately, there's going to be a slight delay. Very, very slight delay. We were hoping for November 3rd, but there's going to be a slight delay. We're going to be making an announcement. We're going to have an early Black Friday promo because of the delay, but the wait is going to be well worth it. Multiple features that nobody in the industry is doing. We're going to be completely different. So I'm very, very excited for that. So I think it will be good. But I appreciate you guys being here so much. I really enjoy these live streams, and we're Thursday, so I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, guys. Peace.